Greetings, session heads, and welcome to another episode of Colorado Sessions. Today we're going to be exploring LUKI Brewing in Arvada, Colorado. And we're going to get a little bit off subject, but I think in a good way. So Arvada. Arvada is a suburb of Denver. It's a big suburb. It's a little north and west of downtown Denver. I looked up a few interesting facts about Arvada, and it turns out it's the celery capital of the world. I guess they grow a lot of celery there. I didn't know that. It also is the location of the first gold rush in Colorado in 1850. And even though it is in the greater Denver metro area, there is still an old town in Arvada. It's a place that has restaurants and shops and is a great place to go hang out. And you can still feel the charm of the original town of Arvada. So that's a really nice thing that they have there too. The brewery, LUKI Brewing, the name comes from the fact that the brewer has two daughters, Lulu and Kiki, and so he mashed their names up together to make the name LUKI. As someone who has the name Steve, I'm always jealous of people that have great whimsical names like Lulu and Kiki and Dee Dee and Mimi and Jojo and things like that. So a great name. It's in a little shopping area in Arvada, and the space is wonderful. All of the indoor space opens to the outdoor space as well. So in the summer, it is a wonderful place to go sit in the evening and have a pint and just enjoy some good weather. It is extremely dog friendly. In fact, the last time I performed there was a dog at my feet the entire show, a big sturdy bulldog, I think. It was a tank. It was an ottoman. I felt like I could just kick back and put my feet up on this dog. It was really cute. And they have a wall where they have pictures of all the dogs that have visited their brewery. They have really good beer. I gravitate towards IPAs, and the IPA that I liked the most the last time I performed there was called Purple Cobras IPA. And but I got to tell you, I also really enjoyed a dark Mexican lager they had on tap. And I have to say, that's the second time I've been at a brewery and surprisingly enjoyed a dark Mexican lager. So I may have to just admit that I like dark Mexican lagers. So I always try to make these episodes sort of different and unique and find something interesting. And one of the interesting, unique things about LUKI Brewing is their theme. Now, a lot of breweries have themes. Here, we have a brewery here in town that's in an old garage and is themed after auto mechanics. We're also a military town here in Colorado Springs, so we've got a couple of breweries that have a very strong military theme. But LUKI Brewing's theme is the circus, which is really unique. I've never seen that in another brewery. And it's not random. The brewer owner picked it because his family has a history with Ringling Brothers Circus. His great-grandmother was a performer in the circus. I believe she was maybe a snake charmer. And his great-grandfather was a promoter. He would go out and he'd stay one town ahead of the circus, just promoting it and getting people excited about the fact that the circus was coming to town. So he wanted to sort of pay homage to his family history with the circus, which I think is really nice. Now, to be clear, it's not garish. There are no clowns and deafening calliope music or the smell of elephants or anything like that. It's very subtle. Basically, there's the posters on the wall. A lot of them are old vintage circus posters. And some of the coloring and branding is very subtly referring to the circus. You see stars and stripes in places, but it's very tastefully done, and it's a nice place to go. So the reason I say this is because what we're going to talk about, the unique thing that we're going to talk about in this episode is promotional materials. I do graphic design also, and one of the things that I like to do, I enjoy doing it, and I offer it to breweries when they book me, is I will offer to make a poster to promote the show as well as graphics for use in social media. And it's always fun when a brewery has a theme or there's something I can really dig into and have fun with. So in the past, I played at a brewery called Crafty Canary, and it was on Cinco de Mayo, and so I took their little canary logo and made a Dia de los Muertos version of that canary and came up with a Cinco de Mayo themed poster and graphics. And I played on May the 4th, the day before, at Mountain Merman Brewing, And that, of course, is Star Wars Day, so I did a Star Wars themed poster as well. So I will definitely do episodes on those two places next time I perform there, because those are also two wonderful breweries. But back to LUKI, their theme is circus, so I was really excited about this. So I decided I wanted to do a poster that looked like a circus poster. So the first thing I did is I went online and I researched old vintage circus posters. And kind of got an idea for color schemes and design elements. I saw a lot of stars and stripes and spangles and flags. I paid attention to the types of fonts that were used, the layout of things, and that sort of thing. And then I started building a poster, and I started using some of the stripes that I saw, a lot of red. I made sure there were stars in there and flags, and then I tried to make sure I used fonts that looked like a circus poster. And I ended up with a poster that I think looked somewhat like an old vintage circus poster. So I was really happy with it. I also used the same design elements to create a graphic for their TVs, because LUKI likes to put upcoming events on their TV screens in the brewery. And when I got to my last performance recently there, I was super happy to see that they had actually printed off the posters and hung them up around the place, and that they were using the graphic on the TV. And that makes me feel really good. Not only do I enjoy doing these graphic design challenges and exploring new design principles, it's really nice when you see that the brewery appreciated it and they got some use out of it and were able to promote the show with it. So it's really fun. So that's something that I do. And if you're interested, on my website, coloradosessions.com, you can click on the promo materials link and you can see examples of some of the posters and graphics that I've created. So that's just another element about being a performing musician, and something that I try to bring to the table. But I'm so thankful that they booked me. My most recent show there was a blast. Again, I had my buddy, the bulldog, at my feet the whole time. Everyone was so kind and welcoming, as usually happens in these places. The atmosphere is great. I had a couple of friends that live in Arvada come out. Tim and Mimi, again, I'm jealous of Mimi's name. Tim and I can sit and commiserate over Tim and Steve. That we got stuck with Tim and Steve when there are Kikis and Lulus and Mimis in the world, right? But it was a great time, and the staff was welcoming, the beer spot on, they have good food trucks there, and you could just tell people were loving the weather outside as the sun went down. So if you're ever in the Denver area and you're exploring craft beer, I know there's a lot of breweries in downtown Denver, but it is not that far to go out to Arvada, and it's worth it because it's a unique brewery, great vibes, wonderful people, good beer. Yeah, and they have live music. Ding, 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 ding. So, at any rate, there you have it. That is LUKI Brewing in Arvada, Colorado, another of our great Colorado craft breweries. Here's to Colorado. Drink it all in.